Coming to you live from the front lines of that info war. It was about 2 years ago that the Democrats nationwide in blue cities and blue states decided on a new way to get the guns. They basically call it the Baker Act or red flag. And now if someone just calls and says, I think they're dangerous, they didn't point a gun at me, they didn't say they were suicidal, just I saw the guns in their house. And so, I mean, I've had carpet cleaners one time saw guns on a gun rack in my house, called the police on me. The police didn't come, but that's the craziness of this. And then in some cases, people are getting killed when the police come. But you can go back 2 years ago, Bloomberg had the headline, gun confiscation begins in California. See, they've gone from denying they want to take the guns to saying, yeah, we need to repeal the Second Amendment and take all the guns. Mr. and Mrs. America, turn them all in. It's happening. Confiscation begins after Florida's new gun control laws enacted. So joining us is a great American patriot, Joey Gibson. You know, you got the Proud Boys that Gavin McInnes started, and they've been demonized and called extremists by the media. The FBI didn't even really say that. Then they got deplatformed. The media just saying are extreme, now you're deplatformed. But Joey, the Patriot Prayer Group, they go out and just pray in public in San Francisco and Berkeley and places like Portland, Oregon, and they get physically attacked. News calls them terrorists, but nobody ever gets arrested because they're not swinging first. The meth head professors are. But he's here to warn. He's got an event coming up, Joey Gibson, and the whole Patriot Prayer Group, about what's happening. Washington's I-1639 would implement some of the nation's most stringent gun control laws. That's what they call it, but really it's getting rid of due process. GibsonForFreedom.com is his main site. Joey, thanks for telling us about this and a snapshot of what's happening in Oregon.
Yeah, it's great to be here. In Washington State, we have Seattle, Washington, 1 million voters of the 3 million total in all of Washington State. So we have a lot of conservative counties, a lot of people who are independent, like to hunt, you like their guns. And so right now we're going around to the small counties. We're focusing on Skamania County, and we're asking them to ask the council members and the sheriff to protect the Constitution, to pass some sort of ordinance to say that they're not going to allow the state to break the Constitution. With this whole mental health thing that they're doing, this is the new way they're going to grab guns. This is what they did to the veterans with the VA. Basically, if you want to be a gun owner, you have to sign away your privacy rights to your medical records so the state has full access. So that way they can determine if you're eligible or not. We don't know what's going to make you eligible or not. It can be, you know, you're simply on antidepressants, or maybe you're on painkillers, and all of a sudden your Second Amendment is revoked. The crazy thing to me is
by the way, you're not just saying this. This happened to 300,000 veterans when Clinton's last year. Then Obama brought it back. And they're now, Trump stopped it federally, partially, but it's hard to stop the bureaucrats. This is now happening everywhere, and now they're going to use it at state level.
In 2015, the feds tried to come and take the guns from a veteran in Bonner County, which is in Idaho. And the sheriff stood up. We had Matt Shea from Washington stood up, and they had over 200 citizens stand at his house to protect his house. And the feds decided not to come to his house to take his guns. So, yeah, it definitely has been happening. We just don't hear about it. But now in Washington State, they made it legal. And it's really concerning because basically, if you want to be a gun owner, you are a second-class citizen because you have a right to privacy. You have a right, you know, for the government to not going into your medical records. And every single year, what the state's going to do is they're going to check your records. They're going to check your medical records and check your background. And so every single year, if for whatever reason they determine that you're ineligible to own firearms, they're going to require that the police chief or the sheriff has to come into your house to take your guns.
And again, these are people like SJWs, like Reality Winner, who have access. We know all over the country, Antifa works